joining us today. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip through a few minutes until I'm done chit-chatting and allowing people to enter the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, you might see me address comments on Facebook that you don't see, and vice versa. So, yeah, please like, share, follow, subscribe, anything, whatever's on your platform that you're watching from. Please feel free to do so. If this resonates, please take it. If it does not resonate, do not take it. It is not for you. This is a collective reading. So we're going to be reading the collective energies that we are all wading through at this time. Hi, Holly. How are you, love? So it can apply for the macro or the micro. It can apply to the greater collective, which it will, but it can also apply to your own life as well. It's going good. I've had a headache for a couple of days, but we've had, with all of those fires in Utah, I don't know if you guys have seen that, the fires in Utah. There are some on the Colorado-Utah border, and it's been really windy. It's been blowing smoke all around, and it's been really smoky outside for us too, even though there aren't any active fires anywhere very close by. Hi, Susan. Hi, Suzanne. So yeah, I had to take one of my twins to the ER the other day because he was having tummy pain for a full 24 hours by the time I took him in. And that's not abnormal. You know, we all have sensitive stomachs in this family. You guys know. Lyra, oh my gosh, the cat is climbing the air conditioner unit to go in the window, and she's having a rough time. Sis, you can do it. Oh my gosh. Little kitty butt hanging out. So yeah, I took him in. Everything's fine with him. Had some blood work done. His inflammatory receptors or whatever, I can't remember what they're called, markers in his DNA were showing that he has a more heightened level of like inflammation and allergic reactivity. Hello guys, how are you? Hi Dallas. Hi Preston. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Finding yourself triggered a lot lately? That's definitely going to happen. My business name is Rebel, but my given name is Kristen, so you can feel free to call me by either. We're going to do a collective reading. I don't know if you've been here before or not, but we're doing a collective reading, so I'm going to read collective energies, and we will apply those both to the collective energy we're experiencing as well as individual experiences. Hi, Catherine. And if you see me highlighting and talking about comments, I am streaming to 2 platforms, YouTube and Facebook. A lot of the viewers are over on Facebook, so you might not be able to see the comments, but I will try to address the comments out loud so that, you know, we can kind of... Hi, Jeremy. You can be here as long as you're not going to act a fool, okay? Thank you for joining us, but I appreciate the hey, good looking comment, but we're not going to do that here. So please feel free to exit if that's what you want to do. And if not, please feel free to stick around. All right. So how's everybody feeling? Like Holly said, she's been feeling triggered a lot lately. That's definitely going to happen. We have some Mars activity. Mars has been switching signs. So you're going to see a lot of Mars type themes being highlighted. So you're going to be triggered. You're going to probably run into people who have anger issues or are just toxic masculine presenting energy. You're going to see that on a larger scale, like with the United States attacking Iran, among many other things, all of the atrocities and horrific shit that's happening right now. So it is ramping up, and we're all going to feel it. So just try to ground yourself as much as you can right now. Move through the emotions, express them in healthy ways, okay? And just hold on tight, you guys, because it's rough. It's getting even more rough, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. So we'll just, that's going to be kind of explained in this reading, because I did kind of see a few of the cards that were coming out while I was shuffling, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what we're doing today. So yeah, fun. All right, so we have enough of you in here right now. We can go ahead and get started. Feel like I can snap in a minute and just regroup, stop and breathe. Yeah. Lots of stimming. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I've been doing my stimming activities too. Um Hello, Katie. Nice to see you, beauty. All right, so we'll just go ahead and start jumping in since we've got plenty of people in, and you guys know I will go back over the information as we progress through the reading, just so people can get caught up who join us a little late. Okay. Okay, bottom of the deck cards are really... Hi, Scarlett. Nice to see you. Hi, Greg. Thanks for joining us. I'm streaming to 2 places. I've got this streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. So you guys are going to see, if you're over on YouTube, you're going to see me addressing a lot of comments, and you're going to be like, what is she, schizo? Who is she talking to? We have a lot more of our viewers over on Facebook. So I will be addressing those comments as well. So thank you guys for being here, and take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you feel like you resonate, please feel free to stick around. All right. Babysitting Waffles again. I made her a memory foam bed. Oh, that's awesome, Susan. And yesterday I took her on a 6 to 7 mile hike in Forest Park. Awesome. It's beautiful around there. Take advantage. Do it for me. I have not been in the Portland area for probably 8 years or so, but I love it up there. It's gorgeous. Okay, so bottom of the deck cards are okay. Strength in reverse. You may feel a bit depleted. You may feel overstimulated. You may be feeling like everything's going to shit, and like, what can I do to change anything? I think it's fair to say we all feel like that right now. But again, like I've been talking about for the last several weeks, we need to look out for the glimmers, the good things, okay? Like, the FIFA organization is corrupt and awful, but the culture sharing, the coming together, and, having a good time and really celebrating one another's differences is really key right now. It's that fresh drink of water where we've been just parched for the longest time. Sorry, my computer is trying to update right now. We're not going to do that. I got to be able to see my comments. Okay. So, pace yourself is the message here. Try to balance yourself, because like we talked about already, you're going to be triggered. There's a lot of things that are coming up. There are a lot of outlandish ideas, not even ideas, they're outlandish, old, outdated ways of existing and ideology, especially where it concerns the divine feminine. As we've talked about for years now, the divine feminine is on the rise, and we're moving towards not, I wouldn't say matriarchal, and I always say matriarchal because that's the term everyone understands, matrilineal. And that's what I've talked about. Like, it's going to be a matriarchal system that we're moving into, but it's not going to be only women can rule and men are, it's not going to be any, that's the patriarchy. Okay, that's order and control under the patriarchy order, so to speak, right? But matrilineal societies are where it's more so focused on themes of matriarchal rule, but it's where we all have, equality, true equality, what we have never seen in recorded history on this planet. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. M. Borelli, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to stick around. We're doing a collective reading. We're not doing individual readings today, but if something resonates, please take it. So we are moving more towards the matrilineal. Hi, Laren. Thank you for the tip. Um, society. And I broke that down for you guys many, many times, but we have, again, a lot of new faces showing up today as well. So I just wanted to break that down. It's nothing like the patriarchal systems. It's not going to be where women are above men or anything like that. It is equality, and it is the uh, divine feminine branch, you could say, of of order and rule. Um, all right. Bye, bitch. You yourself. Okay. We're gonna have trolls coming in. I've been a bit more visible lately. If you guys couldn't tell, my regular viewers couldn't tell, and we got some trolls showing up. So we'll take care of those as they come in. Um, However, the matriarchal rule is going to be more equality for everyone. Like I said, it's not going to be one above the other. It's not this hierarchical type of concept. It's not the pyramid scheme that we've been under for millennia now. Okay. Things are shifting, things are changing. It's more nurturing and caring for the whole, for all, and more focused on children and their highest good and giving them the best head start and everyone thriving under this system, right? So as the patriarchy is crumbling, it's screaming and kicking and throwing toddler-sized temper tantrums on its way out. So you're going to see a lot more of that, especially when it comes to the larger players on the world stage. So just keep that in mind. If you are being very highly triggered or impacted by what's going on around us, hi Jay, then take a step back, do a self-care day, stop watching the news so much, stop taking in so much content, and really focus on centering yourself, making sure that you're taken care of, making sure that your family is taken care of, whatever your situation is, okay? Pace yourself, because it's going to become unbearable at times. And not saying this to fearmonger or anything like that. We've known, for many of us anyway, have known that this matrix control system, this old earth paradigm, has been shifting and collapsing for some time now. And as it is crumbling on its way out, it's going to scream louder. It's going to try to take as many as it can. And by that, I'm not talking about like, oh, the beasts of hell are going to be crumbling and taking every soul they possibly can. We're not evangelical here. We don't do religion here in this community, and it's not to say that you can't believe how you want to believe. You should have every right to believe what you want to believe and practice your own beliefs, as long as it doesn't impact others negatively. And religion has shown time and time again that it does impact most people negatively. It only serves just a few, and we're moving away from that. Found a feather this week that was half gray, half yellow. Oh, I love that. Dallas, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, as this system is crumbling, as it is on its way out, it's going to try to oppress as many people as possible. It's going to try to unalive as many people as possible. That's why we see these G-sides happening in many areas of the globe right now. And I say globe, I throw that term around lightly, okay? We know this is an earth plane. We're not flat earthers or anything like that over here. Unless you are, feel free to believe how you want. But anywho, it is affecting multiple countries. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining us at this time. It's not just any one people. It's not just the Palestinian people. It's people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's Sudan. It's Ukraine. It's all of these different places, right? And I know I skipped a few, but I mean, I only have so much brain capacity whenever I'm starting to channel that, that left brain just kind of steps off to the side there. So, yes, I know there are multiple places, and I'm not going to even be able to list them all because it is happening everywhere right now. Thank you, Lori. You're so welcome. Thank you for joining us and supporting us. So glad we've been doing our shadow work these times. Accelerate. Yes, exactly, Catherine. I was over on YouTube. Yikes, creepy dudes popping up. I told them not okay. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, dear. Um, whatever comments do end up like coming through to me on my side, because it kind of filters it over here on Restream. So I don't see all of the comments, I don't think, but thank you. um, so yeah, as this is crumbling, it's going to try to cause as much damage as it possibly can, because the patriarchy, the old matrix paradigm system, thrives on oppression, on fear, on pain, on trauma. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to gather up as much of that energy as they possibly can to try to stay here, but they can no longer exist here, because that is the old way. And it is, the frequencies are on their way out. Okay. Frequencies are shifting and changing, and we are becoming a more high frequency plane at this time. So we're going to see so much coexisting simultaneously, where once we're fully into the more high frequencies and the new earth paradigm, we're not going to see so much of that darkness anymore. There's a guy on the golf course listening to the radio. There was an ad for KFC. They kept saying how each item was $10. Then the ad asked what people thought the next item cost. I hollered $10 fucking. Like, turn your shit down. Lots of rudeness everywhere. Yeah. I feel that. Oh my gosh. Shouldn't hear others' radio or music. We keep ours really quiet. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. But people are showing their ass right now, and like I've been talking about for years, you guys, with the um mental imbalances really coming to the forefront, the toxicity really bubbling up and coming to the forefront in people, where maybe it was more quiet or more dormant before in individuals. You're going to see that ramping up. Like, you see the pew-pewings all over the US right now. And I want to bring to light and highlight for everyone, because it's not talked about mainstream. Okay. There have been several lynchings. There have been several deeply melanated individuals, Black individuals, that have been found, and they don't do this to themselves. You guys, wake the fuck up, make some noise, advocate, speak out against it. And these police departments are just saying, oh, it was suicide. Okay. People don't often, especially females, which there have been a lot of females found lynched like that. Um, that is not the typical way a female self exits. Okay. Number one. And number two, that is not a way that a Black person who has been historically lynched and mistreated, and don't get me started. There's no way that these are self exits. Okay. So speak on it. Okay. Shout it from the fucking rooftops if you have to. Hold these police accountable. There are so many you're going to see with regard to the police. Okay. We all know that they're just criminals with a license to unalive. Okay. There are more and more of these individuals that are being highlighted right now for actual trafficking of women and children. Okay. They're unaliving their partners, beating their partners, domestic battery. Okay. All of these things, there's a surge in these happening right now, these kinds of cases happening. And it's not because it's never happened before, or it's barely happened before. It's just that now things are coming to light, things are surfacing, and we are meant to see where the systems that have enslaved us for so long have not been working and are not working, and they need they need to be brought down. They need not even revision, they need to be completely brought down. So speak on it, share posts if you see them, whatever you can do from wherever you are. Okay. We cannot allow this. We cannot permit this to continue happening. Okay. We need to say no, because of our own sovereignty, because we have the power as a people to say no. This is no longer going to function this way, and put an end to it. It's only when all of the people actually get up and fucking do something about it that we get any kind of change. Okay. Just sitting and, hi Steph, just sitting there, scrolling on social media and wishing and hoping and praying or whatever you do for that new future isn't going to do shit unless you put action behind it. Because we live in this tangible realm, we have to actually put effort out. We have to actually do something towards the end goal that we want. We can't just dream it up and have, snap our fingers and it be there. Not in this realm, not at this time. Other realms, yes. And another time, yes, once we have evolved that much as a species, but that's not the way of it now. So you have to actually get up and do something. You can't just sit there and hope that someone else does something. We all have our own function, no matter how big or how small it may seem. We all have our own function. We all have our own sovereignty. We all have our own voice. Okay. Police are getting caught in my state, Ring children in their own houses and many other reasons. They're mostly corrupt. My father once said people who become police, it's because they were bullied and now they're the bullies. Exactly. And I've known police officers personally, and I have seen how they abuse the badge, and I've had words with them. Okay. Side quest, we're going to go on a side quest now and then we'll pick up on the reading. I was kind of seeing an officer in my like late 20s. Okay. I was seeing him in between, like whenever my ex and I would part ways. And he was actually a client of my ex's. Okay. So he, early on, before we even started seeing each other, he came for an appointment and was talking and bragging about how he caught these young women that had a baggie of cannabis on them. And it was right before cannabis was legalized across the state of California where I lived. And he was bragging about it and saying, yeah, I made her dump it out in the dirt and then step on it and smush it so she couldn't, like, after I gave her the citation, because she wasn't going to jail for it was just a small amount. I was like, do you know that she probably spent hours of her salary, making sandwiches or whatever for Subway to be able to afford medicine to help her get through the anxiety, to help her get through the body pain and all of that takes from her measly little job where she's barely making any money to make ends meet. And you just destroyed her medicine and now you're laughing about it. You're not big and bad. You're not cool. Why the fuck would you do something like that to someone? Thank you, Lori. I have a lot of stories. So, and that actually made him think differently. And from then on, he didn't do that kind of thing anymore. And, speak up, speak out. I'm one, I will not shut the fuck up. If I see an injustice happening and there's something that I can say or do to help the situation, to help the person who's being oppressed, I'm absolutely going to do that. And I'm fighty. I came from an abusive background. I know how to fight. I don't do that unless absolutely necessary, right? It's been probably a decade or more since I've actually done that. But I will not back down. I don't have that fear in me because I had to overcome that from the abuse that I endured as a child. So I know that a lot of people are not confrontational like that. I'm not a confrontational person either. I don't like it, but I won't avoid it. If it needs to happen, we're going to make this happen, right? So I'm not trying to encourage people to be violent and just be confrontational and all of these things, but you can't just sit there and be quiet when atrocities are unfolding right before your eyes, when injustice is unfolding right before your very eyes. You have to get up, you have to do something, because the person next to you ain't going to do it either. And oftentimes people are just waiting for someone else to have the lady balls to stand up and say something before they're right up, standing right next to you saying the same thing. Okay. All it takes is one person to cause change in an effectual, I don't know how, I think I made up that word. Mercury is retrograding, y'all. Okay. In an impactful way. Okay. So what I'm saying is act. Okay. It takes action in this realm. It's going to take more and more action yes, the scales are tipping in our favor, but if we all just throw our hands up and we're like, oh, the scales are tipping in our favor, we can all just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the ride now. No, the fuck you can't, okay? It's going to take dedication. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take action. If you want tangible results, you have to take tangible actions. Eden is going to be a cop. She's a really beautiful human being. I agree. There are good cops, and like I said, that one that I talked to, I believe he ended up being. I haven't spoken to him since like for the last 6 years or so. Um, but last I spoke to him, he actually made it to detective, and he was investigating and setting up perpetrators of pedophilic crimes. They were doing like the catch a predator type thing. That was what he was doing last that I spoke to him. So there are many good people who wear a badge, but there are many more that are not good that wear a badge as well. Okay. um just wanted to state that. I know you know that, Susan. I'm not talking directly to you um in that sense, but yes, we're gonna need all of the good ones that we can possibly get, and it's the good ones that are catching the bad ones right now, right? So we need even more like her in the force right now. I absolutely agree. But the system has got to change. The system has got to fall. It's got to crumble. And we have to set up something that is more favorable for the collective than, just, oh, that person's got more melanin in their skin, and I think that I should just pull them over and ask why they're out driving or why they're out walking. Oh, they grabbed their pants in a certain way and that made me think they have a weapon, so now I'm going to arrest and this is a story that just happened like a week or two ago, okay? And it was like a 15-year-old child, 14, 15-year-old child, okay? And twice within a week this child was done this way. And they had him detained. They had him in cuffs just for walking. He didn't have anything on him. Nothing at all. It was just because of the way he was walking and pulling up his pants at the same time. I mean, come the fuck on, right? Um, so we definitely need true training in the police force. We need people that are more de-escalation instead of escalating the situation and unaliving citizens just because they say, "Oh, I was scared." If you're scared, don't be a fucking cop. Period. End of fucking story. If you're too scared, don't be a fucking cop. Okay. Yeah, there's so many stories as of late. Dogs, three of them in California that I can think of off the top of my head that have been unalived in the last month because the police were afraid for their lives. Okay, one was a fucking Labradoodle Saint Bernard mix. Okay, like you're afraid of a Labradoodle, then you don't need that badge. You don't need that gun. You should not be on the force. You should be behind the desk doing paperwork if that's your stance. So we may feel like we are being more oppressed than ever. And yes, we are. That is a fact. Okay. That is an absolute fact. We are being much more oppressed than we have been in decades. And I'm talking collectively, not just about the more melanated individuals in our communities. Okay. Because they've been experiencing it nonstop. Slavery ending didn't end their treatment. It didn't end the racial bias. It didn't end the racism and the hatred. Okay. um so let's just move on because I have so much to say on that. We'll never get done with this live. And we're already almost a half hour in. Silent retreat. Silence. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. If you're feeling highly triggered, if you're feeling, you know, outside of the norm, if you're feeling highly oppressed, take a step back, rebalance yourself, ground yourself, express those emotions in healthy ways, okay? Don't project onto others, don't take it out on others, but go within, do your shadow work. If you've been here for very long, you've been doing the shadow work for a while, okay? If you haven't been here very long, you don't know what shadow work is, get a hold of me. My website's listed right here. You can get a hold of me that way via email, book an appointment with me, whatever you want to do, and I can go more in depth with you on that. If you are looking for an in-depth explanation, though, you will pay for my time, so you'll need to book an appointment for that. Or you can go back into my older videos, which don't go back very far, sadly, because we did switch channels after parting ways with co-hosts. So I need to do another whole live podcast on shadow work. Okay. I know I haven't been doing the teaching ones. It's been collective reading just once a week for almost a year now. But that's what I've had to do to be able to keep my balance and maintain. So we'll do it. We'll get through it. Sorry. um, so silent retreat, go within, do the shadow work, whatever is being triggered for you, address that. Okay. Because we are amplifiers for the collective, especially those of us who are extra sensitive. Okay. We're the filters, we're the kind of like the air purifier for this climate at this time. So we are going to take on more. We're going to feel so much more, and we are going to have to express those emotions for much of the collective, because much of the collective is out of touch with their own emotions. They're emotionally unintelligent, and it's not, throwing shade at them. It's just that's how they were programmed to be for centuries on centuries, okay, for millennia now. So we're here to kind of shoulder that burden so that we can alleviate that weight enough for people to actually be able to lift their head up and open their eyes and see what's been going on. Okay. And there's so much unprocessed grief, pain, trauma in the collective sphere that there's a lot of us incarnated here now to help to offset the disparity here. Okay. So you're going to feel things very intensely, a lot more intensely than probably everyone else around you. Okay. So do your grounding, do your breath work, do your shadow work. Um, yes. And the like button. Thank you, Holly. So pace yourself. Okay. Pace yourself is like the theme of the reading today. Is you're going to feel oppressed. You're going to feel triggered. You're going to feel like the world is on your shoulders, because kind of it is. Okay. You're shouldering the burden of millennia. Okay. Just the existence for millennia, oppression, patriarchy, trauma, pain, all of it. So have some grace with yourself. Okay. Starseed, you are here for a purpose. And like I've said, we all serve our own purpose. We all serve our own function at this time, with this huge shift in humanity, with the evolution. And that's going to look a little different for everyone. My purpose is not going to look like yours and theirs and theirs and his and hers and whoever. Okay. We all have our own function. We all have our own frequency that we are grounding into this realm at this time. So everyone's going to experience things a bit differently. Everyone's going to be processing things a bit differently. So just have grace with yourself, and also have grace with others, because everyone's feeling it. Okay. And that doesn't excuse people's bad behavior. Do not excuse their bad behavior. Call them out on it when you see it. Do not allow that to go on. But also, compassion goes a long way. Okay. Cop shot my ex-son-in-law's little brother. Poor kid was schizophrenic. Oh my gosh. And that's happened a lot lately too, with mental health calls. They just come and they pew them, and it's terrible. Or they physically batter and abuse them. Only time I ever went to jail was because I stood atop the Trans Am and stage dived onto some cops on bikes. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you, Susan. You're awesome. After they kindly put me in the back of the car when I initially went battle mode on them. Yep, climbed out the T-top in high heels and jumped right on them. Oh my gosh, you're a rock star, Susan. I love you so much. I can totally, I see it. I see it playing in my mind's eye. It's That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. I love it. So things are coming full circle. Okay, we have the world card that came out. So this is the closing of cycles and entering through that portal into the new world. Funny. We are in essence, okay, um, creating, we're building, we're structuring the new world as the old one crumbles. And what we allow and what we disallow are going to either accelerate or decelerate, okay? But the disparity, the just unfairness of it all, temperance in the reverse, things being topsy turvy, imbalanced, we live in a universe of balance, okay? Cause and effect, karma, people understand karma. There must be balance. So whenever something's out of balance for so long, then something else comes around, in a big way that's going to counteract that, that's going to rebalance the scales. And that's what we are in the middle of right now. So everything that's been topsy-turvy, upside down, unfair, and just toxic. And then we have the Emperor reverse right next to that. All these toxic, topsy-turvy, imbalanced systems are crumbling. They're crashing. They can no longer exist. Okay. So we have to live through this. And we signed up for this, you guys. We were like, yes, front row tickets to the Earth show. For this huge shift, for this huge paradigm shift, right? We're decades from now, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, damn, shit was crazy. Like, how we all looked back on 2020 after a few years after the shock and trauma kind of started settling off of that. Now we look back at it and we're like, damn, shit was crazy and shit has not been right ever since. The great toilet paper fiasco of 2020, everybody remembers that. Now we can look back on it and laugh, but we weren't laughing in the middle of it, okay? I was having to go to the dollar store and get the little tiny, like, rolls that last like 2 toilet trips. Just every time I knew they were having a shipment, I had to drive an hour to town and wait for them to start unboxing. It was wild, okay? It was absolutely wild. So yes, in like a decade, couple decades or so, we're gonna look back on this and be like, man, that was crazy. That was a wild ride. I cannot believe we existed under that toxic patriarchy for so long, and then now, like, it's gonna take a while for things to really be built in, but we're moving into the golden age. So we're in this, kind of in between pivotal moment where we're existing in both worlds. And for those of us who are sensitive and who are psychically gifted, we've been straddling two worlds all our lives, or since our awakenings, or whenever it happened for you. So right now we're straddling the line between worlds, and we're going to experience being on one side of it and then being on the other side of it. So we really got front row tickets, you guys. So yes, things are going to be different, but things have to crumble. And whenever things are crumbling, there's destruction, there's catastrophe. You see, expect a lot more volcanic eruptions, especially with the dormant volcanoes. There are dormant sleeping volcanoes that have been dormant for thousands of years that are awakening and having activity and starting to erupt. Okay, the earthquakes in Venezuela just the other day too, around 7 point something magnitude earthquakes. Again, California, sending a lot of protection to my home state, okay, because my family, like where I grew up, is along the San Andreas Fault, the famous San Andreas Fault, right? So they're due for another big one. We've got fires everywhere. They're in Arizona, in Utah, in Colorado, not anywhere close to me, but still everything's on fire. We have the super Godzilla El Nino, or whatever they want to call it, that's going to be very wet for a lot of people in areas that don't get that much wetness, and then very dry for areas that normally do. Colorado had record-breaking default in snowpack this past winter. Like I was saying, it rarely snowed here, and we're used to it snowing, 6 months out of the year here, and we didn't get much snowpack. Thus, the Colorado River is drying up, right? So we have these severe cases of weather. And yes, there's weather manipulation. There's all that stuff that's going on as well. But Gaia is shifting. The poles have been shifting. We talked about that. I channeled it a few years ago, right? You guys remember that. It's raining in Portland. Go figure. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome. I'm glad. We had rich people here mobbing the Safeway toilet paper stockers. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I I was always at Costco in 2020. I was always buying all of my groceries from Costco, and they were out of toilet paper constantly. That's why I had to go find it at dollar stores. Like the Dollar Tree. Crazy sauce, you guys. It's always raining. Yeah, it is always raining there. But you're in a cold weather rainforest area, so it's beautiful up there. I just love it. Um, so yeah, we things you're going to see catastrophic events taking place. It's not it's not going to get better anytime soon. Okay, it's going to get worse before it gets better. We've talked about that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But this is a necessary change that Gaia is going through. And yes, there are impacts from global warming and all of that. But Gaia has her own life cycles. Okay, and we don't know scientifically. We don't know much about that. Okay, so it's going to be surprising for a lot of people. Hi, Nicole. Um, but for Gaia, it's just another cycle, another, like, her lifetime is millions of years long. So you know this cycle for her coming back around a couple 100,000 years is nothing new to her, but it's new to us, right? We're not used to this record breaking heat waves. People are being just unalived by catastrophe and weather at this time, not to mention the stuff inflicted by other human beings, if you can call them that. We're fucking 2 cards in. Here we go. 3 cards in. Oh no, I guess I've done 5. Okay. Anyway, Starseed was the last one we highlighted, right? With Yamoya. Starseed, you are here. We're here to serve many different functions. Each individual has their own purpose, their own plan for what they're meant to do with their time here that contributes to the transformation of this earth plane, of Gaia herself, right? So this is a transformation into something beautiful. It's not transforming into something that's ugly and scary or anything like that. This is a Pegasus unicorn. Okay, this is a magical fucking being that she's just like riding on, and she's got this flag. Like this is the new earth. Like, you see this sacred geometry right here. This is completely shifting, completely transforming the old into the new, and that's the flower of life imprint. But it's enclosed in a circle. Okay, so it's not the more negative context that you might see others talking about or existing. Anyway, so this is a positive transformation in fewer words. We are moving towards union, okay, of that. Like I talked about, we're doing matrilateral, not matriarchy specifically, because we had matriarchy, we had patriarchy. Now it's more matrilateral, which is again, it's the system that nurtures and supports and loves rather than hierarchical, oppressive, constant war, you know, toxic patriarchy. Okay, we are in the midst of the masculine and feminine healing and coming into balance, because we've talked a lot about the toxic masculine, toxic feminine that's existed here for so long, and we talk about the divine masculine, divine feminine. They are not two opposite or individual aspects. They are one, right? We are all one, and that's what we're moving to, is a society where we are looking out for what's best for the whole, for the collective, not just the select few, not just, oh, this person's important because they're at the top of this pyramid. No, we're not doing that anymore. So as that crumbles, the matrilateral way of existence is coming together, which will form a blissful union, which will cause everyone to thrive, not just a few, not just a select few. Everyone will be thriving. This is freedom. This is wisdom. This is, strength and courage with the lion. The cow has always represented, fertility and abundance. And these are all the things that we're stepping into. This golden age is coming, but we're on the precipice of it, guys, but we're on the tail end of this toxic shit. And like we've talked about, the toxic patriarchal paradigm is going to try to dig its demonic fucking claws and, you know, cause as much chaos and wreak as much havoc and trauma and atrocity as it possibly can before it makes its final exit. The great diviner right next to that. Pay attention to your intuition, your spiritual gifts. You might notice they're increasing, they're coming online. You might notice a dip right now. Um, a lot of people have been experiencing this where they're feeling kind of disconnected from their intuition or just kind of, you know, thrown off a bit. And that's going to happen. Okay. And we're in the middle of Mercury. Well, not in the middle. We're beginning Mercury retrograde. We've been in pre-shadow. So we're moving into full swing of Mercury retrograde. But we're also approaching eclipse season again. And a lot of other astrological things happening with the barbell basket and other things. If you don't know, just do a quick search. YouTube, TikTok, Google, whatever you use. I don't use Google because fuck Google. I use DuckDuckGo because it's more private, but also it has its downfalls too. But try to tap in more so to your intuition, to that gut feeling, because you're going to see a lot of misinformation. And with the AI shit and people are, you know, making content that looks like, and this isn't just like social media, this is also the mainstream media produces these fake videos and tries to push it off as fact, tries to get people to believe that these things are happening, or the same old fucking game, just a new tool. Okay. So really listen to your intuition, use your discernment. If you're having issues like with tapping into your intuitive gifts, do something that enhances those for you, whatever works for you. Like for me, it's working with divination tools like the tarot. I need to look for my runes because I've been really being called to my runes lately, and I'm like, I don't know where I put them. I misplaced them somehow. So I'm going to have to track them down. But, you know, start practicing more of what helps to sharpen your intuition. Your intuition is a tool. That shit needs to be sharp, baby, especially right now. It's a good Mercury retrograde in Cancer, though. Yeah, so it's going to affect home, feelings, like all the things that make you feel safe, okay? So it can be chill for a lot of people, especially those who have done a lot of work, right? But there's going to be unforeseen things that take place. Like for me, I just found out last week that my daughter moved. Like she broke up with her girlfriend that was here and she moved out of state, didn't want to tell me. And I found out accidentally, but then she actually texted me yesterday and told me finally that she had moved. She's been gone for months. So that was triggering for me, right? That was, I was like in my feelings because my feelings were hurt. Like I didn't know what was going on with my kid. Even though she's an adult now, yeah, she's 20, she's almost 21. But you know, as a mom, you guys know how I feel about my baby girl. So I haven't been keeping up with planetary movements. I don't, you know, it's not, I go through bouts of not really paying attention either. So I get it. But they're a tool that helps, and I've been really kind of honed in on what's going on collectively the past several months because I've been feeling something huge. I've been feeling this bigness of this energy, of this shift. I love using my runes and my pendulum. I love that, Katie. So yeah, I like that came out of left field. I was going to the grocery store when I found out, you guys. Like, you know, I was just trying to get some stuff to make some sopes because I've my kids and I have really been on a Latino food kick, not just Mexican food. We've been doing sopes, we've been doing papusas, we've been doing tacos, we've been doing birria, like all the, because you know I love Mexican food. So like I've been eating tons of cilantro. I must be needing to like heavy metal detox because I've been eating like handfuls of cilantro on my tacos, you guys, on all of my Latino food. Um, so I was just trying to go get some. I think I was probably going for some cilantro because I was out. And then I found out that my daughter had moved and like things had went down that had I known, I probably would have been the first there to like make sure that she was safe. It was an unsafe situation or perceived by her as an unsafe situation. Anyhow, um, so yes, things will come out of left field that may or may not be highly triggering for you as we're Mercury's retrograding through Cancer. So you want to make some tacos. Oh, I love tacos. And I moved from Southern California, like South Central California to Colorado. And I've always loved Mexican food. Like I was steeped in Mexican culture, like being born and raised there. Like, you know, if you know, you know. So I come here and the Mexican restaurant is owned by people who came here from Mexico, who a lot of their workers are also from Mexico, and they adjusted the food to like this Colorado Tex-Mex, and I hate it because it's like they add sugar to everything, and nothing really has flavor. So I don't go there. I just make it at home. So Guerra's Mexican food. This Guerra can make some really good Mexican food, really authentic Mexican food. And I send pictures to my tia because my aunt is Hispanic, is Mexican. And she's like, you're a better Mexican than me. Like, I want to eat your food. Hey, Christy. Nice to see you, love. So yeah, another side quest. We'll get through the reading at some point. We're approaching an hour, not even halfway through, but thank you guys for sticking around with me through my crazy stories and side quests. All right, so the Great Diviner, pay attention to your intuition as these things are coming together. Balance your masculine and feminine as much as possible right now, okay? If you feel like you're getting into toxic patterns of masculine or feminine energy, which would be, you know, like taking actions against others that seem toxic, or being overbearing, or, you know, being backbiting and causing trouble, or projecting your own fears and hatred onto others, okay? And I'm not saying that you're doing that on a regular basis, but if you feel, you know, a little bit like things are starting to feel a little out of balance, then do a meditation on your masculine and feminine. Just sit with it, okay? Hug a tree, whatever you need to do. My town needs a taco truck for sure. We have a little taco shack, and they're, you know, they have pretty good food, but I'm sorry. I think I make better food than them. But we do have one little taco shack that actually came to town a couple of years ago, and they do have pretty good food. But again, like I I like it the way I like it, and it's not quite the way that I like it. So I would rather just make it myself. Um, so pay attention to that intuition, meditate, do whatever you need to do to bring yourself back into balance. Self-care is an absolute must right now. Hello, Lori. Yeah, it's been a while. Nice to see your beautiful face. So Page of Pentacles, right above that Great Diviner and next to that Lover's card. Like, you will be given what you need. This is the seed. This is planting seeds for the new. This is pentacle energy, so it's tangible. So this is opportunities arising for you. Ideas, even though that would be air energy, it's still like you need to act on those ideas, right? This is planting the seeds for the future. This is, as things are coming together with that Lover's card, with the divine masculine, divine feminine, and also making decisions, right? This is taking what you've learned, taking what you've created, and nurturing that and moving forward. This is new opportunities. Page is all about new stuff. This could be even like messages from people or communications from people about jobs, about relationships, maybe past relationships. We know that always seems to crop up during Mercury retrogrades, and that theme has also come up for me. My grandparents sent my son a birthday gift 2 months ahead of time when my twins have their birthday tomorrow, and they didn't send the twins anything because they don't know anything about my kids. Family stuff, again, being highlighted Mercury retrograde style. So you could be actually receiving something from someone you haven't communicated with in a while. This could be an opportunity for you to patch that situation up and, um, kind of heal that relationship if you want to carry that moving forward. Keep in mind that Mercury retrograde, things that could happen while you're in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, but then after Mercury goes direct, the facade crumbles and all of their lies just kind of get revealed. And then you make that final decision to move on without that person, whether it's a friend, family member, lover, whatever. Okay. So just, you know, use that discernment again, because that Page of Pentacles is right above that Great Diviner. So use that intuition, use that discernment. Not everyone that comes back around is meant to come back around and stay back around in your life. If anything, like if you choose to entertain the connection again, during the Mercury retrograde time, and it's not a good fit for you, but you're not listening to that intuition, you're not using your discernment, you're not, they're not correcting the behaviors, they're just kind of like, oh, let's have a fresh start, but I'm not going to take accountability for anything, then you know that this is that Mercury retrograde like test, like people like to call it. But it's just like, hey, do you still want this? Do you still want to go this direction? Do you still want to hold on to this energy in your life? If yes, then by all means. If no, then put it to bed. Bury that shit. Okay. And we have the death card right next to that Great Diviner card too. The death card, endings, conclusions, new life, birthing from this death of an old cycle, new cycles birthing into creation. You're going to have to make some decisions. Okay. We got the Two of Pentacles. This is weighing decisions. This is what I should do versus what kind of sounds good or looks good on the outside, or this idea I'm entertaining, it seems legit, but then whenever I start to make tangible action on it, nothing really makes sense or nothing really comes together. Absolutely, Christina. It is okay for people to leave. And you can honor them for the time that they served in your life, or for what they taught you, for what they've given you, what they've added to your life, or what they've taken away from it. You can be grateful for what they took away from you so you could see that you were worth a lot more. So just gratitude for the purpose, the function that they served in your life, but severing that connection and moving forward, so that you can be the healthiest version of you possible and you can have the healthiest life possible. Welcome, Christina. Thank you for being here. So just kind of sit back and observe, okay? While Mercury is retrograding, sit back, observe. You're not saying don't take any action at all. There are really things that come from like ideas or actions taken in a Mercury retrograde that actually end up being really fruitful for you. And because it's in Cancer, it's going to impact your what you see as your safety, your security, your home, your loved ones, those kinds of things. So make sure that you're just have in the back of your mind, okay, Mercury's retrograding right now. I need to look 2 or 3 times more at this matter, or I need to really sit with it and sift through it and see if I really want to continue in this direction moving forward. So don't feel forced into making decisions right now, especially if somebody is trying to force you to make a decision in the moment. That's a sales tactic, but it's also a manipulation tactic. A lot of narcissists really lean on that one. Is trying to get you to make this quick knee-jerk decision, putting this time constraint on you. No, take your fucking time. Fuck them. Okay? Fuck them. They don't. No, nobody needs to control how you make decisions or under what kind of energy you're making those decisions. And if they're trying, then that is like a giant red flag saying, I'm not safe, I'm toxic. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to those and put an end to it if you find out that it's more contributing to your struggle than you're thriving. Okay. Yes, the home, the family, exactly. So if they're adding to your struggle, if it's not contributing to your health, to your thriving, okay, it's only contributing to your struggle, your oppression. If you're getting negative feelings, if you're getting having negative experiences, then this is probably your cue to exit stage left. Okay, I forgot to put my ring on today, you guys. I just saw it shining there looking at me like, put me on. So yes, take a step back. Like the bottom of the deck card, silent retreat. Go within, weigh your options, really hone in on your feelings. Like, does this feel like if I made this decision, like it would be a good decision? Or do I feel like it's kind of iffy? I'm not really sure about it. Or do I feel like it would be absolutely a bad decision? It's your time to, go within and really make those assessments before you proceed. Okay, this is that it's helping to filter out the things that you don't really want, but they can come back around in a way that is not um, pleasant, okay, or that seems to be rushed or something like that. So make sure that you're going at your own pace and you are keeping your head on straight, keeping yourself balanced, keeping yourself grounded. And like with this Eight of Pentacles, she's balanced, she's grounded, she's just chilling. She's sitting back looking at all of the work she's done over this moon cycle, right? Over the last month for her in this card. You might be reflecting back on the last month on the things that have transpired under each moon cycle. But she's not rushed. She's meditating on that candle right in front of her, actually. She's in this meditative state. She's already put in so much work that now she's just like, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to, look at my creations and assess and see what I need to do moving forward, if anything at all. What needs to stay, what needs to go. So make sure that you're using this opportunity to really get, your self-assessments done and see what needs your attention, what needs your action now, and what can we kind of put on the back burner. Because everyone's stressed, everyone's feeling under pressure, everyone's feeling oppressed in some way or another. Okay. So we need to prioritize. We need to see what we need to put in central focus for now and what we need to put on the back burner for now. Changes are afoot. We have the card of changes, 29. This is things coming together. 9 is a very spiritual number, approaching the end of cycles, but together that makes 11, alignment. So make sure that you are aligning yourself to the energy that you want to entertain moving forward. Again, we are still going to be, even after this Mercury retrograde, we're going to be in cycles of things ending. We're approaching eclipse season. So we've got things that will be eclipsed out. We've got a lot of things that are going to just kind of jump in on us. And, we're going to have new situations that really need our focus. Depending on what you're doing with your energy, what you're doing with your life, what you're doing with your decisions. I got us some food stamp benefits a couple of months ago. Friday, they called and wanted to speak to Ellie about her going to work. We won't be getting those food stamps anymore. I was, oh, no way. My kids jumped through hoops. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Susan. But you're provided for always, right? You thrive. So changes are afoot. We have planetary wave also bottom of the deck over here with the healing waters oracle. Planetary wave. This is collective, right? We're talking about the collective experience right now. This is a collective reading, and this card was at the bottom of the deck. Soul mission, trust the inner call, and soul team. So, as you guys know, we've been finding our tribe. We've been, coming together. We've been connecting with other like-minded individuals. We've been supporting one another and forming our own communities, whether that's locally or, our online communities as well. These changes are planetary. These changes are affecting the entirety of the collective. Okay, so we've got so many people, so many souls that are incarnated here at this time to assist in things moving forward. Some of us need reminders like, hey, get up off your ass, stop daydreaming about how utopian you want it to be, because that's all great and good, but you also have to apply that action. And some of us star seeds are not used to applying action to anything to get things to manifest, because we've resided in realms for, a lot longer than we've resided in a tangible realm like this, where we think something and it appears, right? So you have to have that reminder sometimes, like, you got to get up and you got to take some action here. Okay. So again, whatever you're called to do, whether that's advocating, speaking up, sharing things on social media, creating a platform, or, using your platform to speak on things like this, going and demonstrating, which people are being, imprisoned for 30 to 100 years for demonstrating even in the smallest ways right now, but that's going to change. Okay. But there are people who are here to do just that, to, serve that purpose, to show this isn't right. Like, this is not okay. Someone moving a box of papers from one place to another and they get 30 to 50 years in prison for it? I don't think so. But, that it's going to take some time before that really comes to a head and that gets changed, but no matter, there, everyone's got to function. Okay, if you're going to be boots on the ground, if you're called to be there to protest, to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves in these concentration camps and things that we've got going on all around the US right now, but even abroad, even in other areas, there's so much happening right now. So whatever you feel called to do it. Okay, it's going to take action. It's going to take backing our alignment with our thoughts and our frequencies with the action. We're fighting for what we want, not against what we don't want. Okay, because whatever we're resisting is going to persist. So we exalt the things that we do want, we go in that direction, and we try not to pay too much attention to, except for what we need to keep tabs on, with the other. Okay, new day, we're moving into a new day. Okay, a new paradigm, a new way of existing, a new way of thriving. The dragonfly, again, a symbol of transformation, and we had that transformation card over here. We're transforming this motherfucking place, okay, into a magical existence where this is going to be a realm where we can see the dragons, the unicorns, the pegasus, the fairies, the gnomes, the all of them. Okay, they're not gone. They haven't disappeared from this plane, only from our view for so long, because they were, whenever they were, because when Gaia fell into this toxic, patriarchal, low frequency, that's what happened. Okay, you can believe it or not, take what resonates. I don't care. So we are grounding this new way of existence. We are grounding this new way of existing in this realm. We're bringing things back that have been gone for so long. This world, we know we exist on Gaia, and there are seasons. There's winter, summer, spring, fall. Not in that order. So, the seasons, and like we talked about just earlier in the reading, where Gaia goes through these phases or these seasons, and yes, everything that's going on can be attributed to global warming and all of the atrocity we've inflicted on our planet, but it's also part of her cycles that we don't know because it's not recorded in our recorded history, that they erased everything outside of that because they didn't want us to remember, so that this couldn't happen sooner than it has. So this is a season, and yes, there's going to be catastrophe. There's going to be, all of these horrific type cataclysmic events. Okay, I'm not denying that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we can imagine our way out of it. No, this has to happen. This is part of this whole system. This is part of this entire pattern. Okay. However, it is going to improve. It's going to wake so many people up to the fact that we have been inflicting atrocity on our planet, on Mama Gaia, not just on our fellow brothers and sisters of humanity, that, we really need to change the way that we treat her, and that we need to start being caretakers of Gaia. The Rainbow Warriors, like the Hopi prophecy and other indigenous prophecies, talked about people of different colors, of different cultures, of different backgrounds coming together and being warriors for Gaia that are really usher us into this golden age, into this new earth paradigm. So that is all being fulfilled right now. But with the destruction of the old, you also have this tangible destruction taking place with Gaia. Okay. The truth is coming out. The truth is surfacing. We have another eagle here. We had that eagle over, where did that card go? Where'd you go? Oh, right here, right in front of my face. Eagle, twice in the reading, okay? Truth, freedom, everything that the eagle is supposed to symbolize. Wisdom with that owl in that card, like I talked about, and abundance, prosperity with the cow, fertility with the cow, and the strength and grace and prowess of the lion. All of these things are coming to fruition, but we're going to see the ugliness real big on its way out, because we have to see it so much that we say, never again. We're never going back to that again. Not no one. not this plane, not this planet, not our Gaia. This is never happening again. We have to do what we can to fix her. We have to do what we can to help her thrive. We have to do what we can to help one another thrive. And that's what we're moving into. The wishing well, unexpected gifts, like I talked about, and like my son got the other day, kindness, and karmic jewels. This is what we're moving into. The wishing well. We've wished for it. As you know, it doesn't matter where on this earth plane that you were born. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. It doesn't matter your background or anything like that. We've all wished for better. We've all wished to thrive. We've all wished for peace, for harmony, and in one way or another. And that's contributed to the collective consciousness so much that now we're manifesting that as a collective, because humans are creator gods, and we've just been lied to it, and we've forgotten about that part of us. But we're awakening to that fact even more. And as we contribute with each individual wishing for better, for more peaceful existence, for being able to thrive, and for our loved ones and communities to thrive, we've all thrown this into this collective pot, right? So now this is what is manifesting. We're no longer manifesting what they try to program us with, these TV programs, these television programs. We're no longer allowing those to impact what we manifest. We're manifesting outside of that system. We're breaking the fucking system. Not here at summer all the time. Yeah, that's true, Suzanne. Summer, light summer, cool summer, and cooler summer. Yeah. Yep. Not even gonna fight you on that one. And your beautiful little lizard ass can stay down there, because that shit's not for me. My body doesn't know how to regulate heat, so I'm miserable and I melt. It's terrible. But some of y'all are built for the sunshine, and more power to you, baby. I've never been to Florida ever. I've been as far as like the dividing line on the US map. I've seen all of the western and southwestern states, but past that middle line, I haven't been anywhere over there. So yeah, good times. But from what I hear about Florida, like, I would visit. I would make sure that I was air conditioned at all times, but I would visit. I would not live there though. All right. So we have anger showing up, and it's right next to that truth card that I just showed you with the bald eagle here. The truth is surfacing. It's going to piss you off. It's going to piss a lot of people off. It's supposed to. And what have we talked about? I went through menopause here. It wasn't nice. Oh, no. No fucking thanks. I feel so bad for you. No. So this shit's supposed to trigger you. It's supposed to make you really angry. And what we've talked about for years now on this channel is you harness that and you apply it to something productive, right? Anger is a very raw, very powerful emotion, and it's here for a reason. It's been used in toxic ways for all of recorded history, okay? By not just males, but females also, and they, thems, whoever, whatever. Not like dismissive of that. I'm just being inclusive here. Gender doesn't matter to me, doesn't matter here. Everybody knows, but I still state that for any new viewers who might be watching, so people don't take things the wrong way. So you're supposed to get pissed off. You're supposed to get fucking rate at what's happening right now and what's been allowed to take place for so long. Okay. You're supposed to get pissed off, but not to use it in a toxic way. You're supposed to harness that raw power, that emotion, and channel it into something productive, something that changes the circumstances. Anger is powerful. It's a powerful tool for change. And the patriarchy's used it for centuries, right? They piss off a population and say, oh, it's because they did it, when we really did it. We did this false flag thing to piss everyone off, to blame it on that guy so we can go to war with them. And so we can, pillage and rape and do whatever we want to do, and, make money, enrich ourselves off of other people's trauma. Then why they mad, right? Exactly. So we're supposed to get pissed off. I mean, there's going to be even more events that really piss us off deeply. And we're supposed to channel that power, because that's raw power, raw energy. It doesn't matter what label you throw on it. Anger, people think, oh, especially in the spiritual communities, they're like, oh, love and light. It's supposed to just be love and light. That's toxic. No, anger is a frequency. All energies are frequencies. It's how you use them that dictates whether it's good or bad. And it's also goes off of your judgments of good or bad, but we're not going to get into that, because I think we can all agree that mass genocide and starvation and war and tragedy and abuse of other people for the way that they look, their skin color, their culture, what have you, their financial class, okay? We can all agree that that's bad. That's not good. It's not healthy for the whole, the collective. It only serves a positive purpose for very few people. And we can't operate like that anymore. We, the people, have the power. Okay, so get pissed off, get angry, channel that shit into something productive. Don't go toxic with it. Don't go, committing atrocities and crimes and things like that out of anger and resentment, which very valid, mind you, valid, but we're not doing that. We're channeling it into productivity. Rage is real. Yes, it's how you harness it. It's that divine feminine rage is coming back online. And I will tell you with the utmost certainty, okay? You put a mom and a dad, okay, and their child in the situation in which the child is being harmed. I promise you that mama is going to be much more ferocious and much more protective than that dad is. And I'm not saying that, and I know I've got my divine masculines up in here. I know Steph, I know you stick up for your daughter too, but I promise you, you would even you would even admit it yourself that your wife would be right there, probably standing in front of you, pushing you back, like, let me handle this shit. Okay. That's just the mama bear instinct. It's real. That divine feminine rage is real. And that is what is coming back, because that divine feminine rage comes from a place not of oppression and suppression and being in this hierarchy, being higher than others, being up, up above others. It comes from a place of, I love and I will defend what I love to the fucking last breath. Okay. And you just can't create that in someone who identifies as a masculine male, as a man, right? You don't get that same energy, because I'm short. I'm 5'3¾". But I will knock down a giant if I have to. And I have, in my earlier, not so balanced times, I have chopped down a giant man or 5. Okay. So I know from my own experience, and also from seeing other people experience things, it's that divine feminine rage, and it's that mama bear protective for the highest good of those I love and care for, of my community or my family or my child or my children, whatever. So don't fuck with mama bear. Everybody knows, okay? Everybody knows you don't fuck with it. So we're harnessing that anger. We're learning, okay, how to harness that anger and how to apply it. Those of us who have been on the path of healing for a long time now, we've already done this. If we haven't mastered it, we've got a good, we got it pretty figured out, and we're doing pretty good with it. But we're also teaching others, okay? And that's where, when I say advocate, speak up, speak out. If someone around you, if a friend or a family member, or even someone in your community, even someone in public, because I will be the first to call a motherfucker out in public, a stranger I don't know, I don't care. If you act that way or talk that way around me, you're not going to get away with it. You're going to get called the fuck out. So this is teaching others. That's tough love. Calling someone the fuck out on their misdeeds. Can I help you?
My toe hurts.
Your toe hurts. Your toenail. Can you wait until I'm done and we'll check it out and clip it? Thank you. One of my babies has a toenail that's bothering him. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Is it Adele? Welcome. Um, so yeah, we're learning, but we're also teaching others how to use that anger for change, how to speak up, how to advocate, how to put our foot down and say enough is enough. And like I said, it could be the one person that stands up and finally says it, and then everyone else that's feeling the same but too scared to speak up around them stands up and joins them. So you could be the one that stands up and not knowing that there are so many others that feel the same way, but they were just too afraid to speak out first, right? So be the one, okay? Advocate, speak up, call that shit out, put your foot down, be the protector. Bounteous, generosity given. If I can pick up the dang card, generosity given, relationships, and coming together. This is how this golden age, this new earth paradigm is going to be. It's loving and supporting one another. It's coming together and for the highest good of all. It's sorry, got a kid needing to. My dog had an accident in the house, so he was flushing it. Thank you, honey. So generosity, support, community support for the highest good of all, coming together to raise each other up instead of smushing each other down, instead of stepping on the heads of the little people to get to the top. This is we all rise together. This is we are all bountiful together. This is we are all thriving together. If one of us is not thriving, all of us are not thriving. Okay. And this is coming more into focus right now, with everyone understanding that it's the billionaires and the multimillionaires that are causing like these laws in their favor that are suppressing the collective of society. My cat almost jumped up here. In order for their own financial gain or the financial gain of their friends, they're oppressing the greater collective so that the very few of them can thrive on our backs. That's coming to the forefront so everyone can get pissed off and everyone can stand up and say, no, I think the fuck not. Okay. You're not going to create laws and rules for us to follow when you're over here unaliving and essaying children and vulnerable people, trafficking humans, and creating G-sides and decimating these populations so that you can steal their rare earth minerals or their oils or whatever it is that you see that you want to get your grubby little fucking hands on, you small dick prick. Okay. We're not going for that shit anymore. Everyone is starting to see, oh, it's not these people of color versus white people, or it's not this culture versus that one. It's not anything like that. It's actually these motherfuckers that are pitting us against each other. So we're infighting and we're not looking at them. They're the ones that are oppressing. They're the ones that are putting us into this way of existence where we can't even fucking think straight because we have to go to work, come home, make dinner, take a bath, go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again. And they're telling you have as many children as you possibly can, have more children than you can fucking afford. Women shouldn't be in the workplace anymore. Women shouldn't be able to vote. Women shouldn't have rights. Look at fucking Afghanistan now. Women aren't even allowed in the streets. And if they do, if they speak, if they're heard verbally making noise, then they are beaten within an inch of their life, if not unalived, for doing so. The feminine is being suppressed much harder right now because they do not want the divine feminine to rise. It's inescapable. It's happening, but they're going to wreak as much havoc as they possibly can on their way out. So this is why I'm saying, don't fucking take that shit. Put your fucking foot down. Go out. I'm not the one, the two-party system and the whole voting shit has got to completely be disbanded. It's got to be completely, brought down and create a different paradigm for that one too. But your voice matters. Go out and vote. Go out and demonstrate if you're called to do so, if it's safe for you to do so. A lot of us can't get out and do so either because there's nothing like that going on around us and we're rural, or because there's health issues and things like that. So totally get it. Not saying that everyone needs to be boots on the ground, because there are some that are boots on the ground warriors, and there are some that are, warriors in other realms, and being impactful by using their voice and speaking out and getting people's attention on what's happening. So whatever function that you're meant to serve that function. And we're not judging other people for what they're doing or what they're not doing, because everyone serves a different function. Okay. But we are meant to come together and teach this bounteous way of existence. We're meant to, restructure our societies to where they benefit all of us and we all thrive. Mother of salt waters, passion, wild love, open your heart and let love in. This is, water, especially salt water, is very cleansing. That's why we cry whenever we have so much emotion. We're cleansing, we're releasing. But salt is a cleansing agent, right? But water also is a cleansing agent. So, mother of the salt waters, this is talking about that cleansing effect, but this is that wild love. The seas are untamed. Like, you cannot try to tame a fucking wave or a rip current. I dare you. That it's just not possible. So it's this wild love. The ocean is bounteous, right? Most of earth is made of the oceans. Open your heart and let the love in. Okay, let this wash over you. We are here in the numbers that we are because of the love that we are capable of holding. Okay, we are these vessels, these containers for divine source love, not the toxic patriarchal brand of, oh, our God, our sky daddy loves you, no matter what. But if you don't get on your knees and bow down to him, then you're going to be sent to the fiery pits of hell for all of eternity, because that's what a loving God does. Is that what a loving parent does? If my kid messes up, I sit down eye to eye and have a direct conversation with them, a balanced conversation. I don't have to raise my voice. I explain things to them because they're learning, right? Because I love them. I don't want to inflict trauma like I experienced when I was a child. I would never, ever do that to my child. So you can't say that a loving God would do something like that, like damn you to the fucking pits of hell to, melt over and over and over again for eternity. I would not send my child to do that. How the fuck do you think an all loving, all knowing, benevolent God would do something like that? Like, get real right now. Okay. And with all of, like, in Texas, they're forcing the public school system to teach the Bible and preach it in classrooms from K through 12. Okay. And they think it's going to serve them a positive purpose. It's going to backfire, because kids are not stupid, especially the ones that are, being born into this realm for the past couple of decades. Okay. They're not stupid. They're going to see. And this is only going to accelerate the process, but they're trying to get it to decelerate the process. It's only going to speed things up. So it's going to be a complete shit show with that for a while. But things like that are happening. People are trying to impose religion now stronger than ever. And it's only going to cause people to rebel against that. Right. So we're learning where we don't want to be anymore, and all of these old ways of existing are cropping up, like the trad wife thing, like the patriarchal control, women don't have rights, and religion is a must for everyone, but it's only the religion that we agree with, not the one that we don't agree with. That's all happening right now to open people's eyes. It's a way of forcing people's eyes open. Okay. And they're contributing to their own downfall by doing it. Their own egos are tripping them up. Look at what's happened with fucking Trump. His own ego is constantly tripping him up lately. And that's the way the stars aligned right now, guys. That's part of the shift. So we don't really even have to do anything to bring them down, because they will be brought down by their own excessive egos. They will be brought down by their own vanity. They will be brought down by their own toxicity. Okay. And then, it's up to us to integrate the lessons that we learned, the shit that's coming back up, saying this is never going to happen again. We're going to rewrite the way that we practice law and order in every country. We're not going to have these borders and all of these things that hinder us from really being able to forge community with one another. because of these fucking lines that they drew on the map of our land. Like, it's crazy. We're integrating the way that things were with the new, with the way that we know that things should be. We're learning that lesson, we're integrating that lesson, and we're saying no more. We're moving forward, we're building something better, we're building something where our world can thrive. Not only humanity, but our planet too, Gaia, because you can kill a planet. Okay, it's been done before. So the well maidens, kindness, respect, reverence, and compassion. This is the new paradigm. This is this matrilineal way of existing. It's where everyone contributes, everyone shows kindness, respect, reverence for one another, and compassion. This is true love. This is not the, all loving sky daddy type love where if you don't praise me and get on your knees for me, then I'll just kick you out to the pits of hell. No, this is true matriarchal type love. This is loving someone for who they are, who they truly are, and contributing to supporting them for who they really are, not trying to take away from them, not trying to traumatize them and bring them down. Hey, Mike. So this is mutual respect for one another, not hating one another because you look a little different than me, or you grew up somewhere else than me, or you came from better circumstances than me. It's not like that anymore. Reunion of souls, we are coming back into union with ourselves and with one another. These souls that have been forced to be opposed to one another and to hate one another for millennia now, and this is a cyclical thing. People caught on the wheel of reincarnation with regard to Earth itself. A lot of us know. If you don't know, do some research. Choose what to believe or not. I don't care. This reincarnation cycle that's been broken. Okay, like the Queen of England is no longer going to be able to regenerate, because that shit was taken back to the source of all creation, because no longer can you continue to make these contracts, these blood contracts, 13 family lineage type things, okay, or selling yourself and by making a blood oath with these thought forms and dark shit like they do with Hollywood and politicians and all the famous shit, right? That can no longer continue. We're actually coming back into union with the truth, with the whole of humanity, with the purpose for this realm in the first place, before it was overtaken by darker forces. And the souls are starting to remember where they came from, whether that's through past life regression, past life memories surfacing, or just kind of having that knowing, or that sense of pattern recognition too, of this has been done and repeated through history, and having a real tangible, like, emotional connection to certain things, certain ages, certain places in time, but also to the people that you incarnate with, whether that's in your family, your friend groups, your soul tribes, whatever it is. We're coming back together. We're remembering who the fuck we are. Even if we don't remember the exact story detail by detail, we're remembering, oh, it shouldn't be like this. Oh, we can make this place better for everyone. Oh, we can actually thrive. We can actually have this, we can bridge heaven and earth, right? So we're coming together, and especially those of us who are volunteers, like starseed, light worker, shadow worker, whatever label you want to throw on it. We're all coming together in support of one another and for the same message, for the same overall outcome, which is for all of us to come together in unity and thrive as a community. Okay. So we're ending the struggle again, to just kind of reloop through some of these cards we already went through. We are ending the struggle with this death card right next to it. We're ending that struggle. We're taking a step back. We're assessing, does this belong in our life? Does this not belong in our life? He was over on YouTube a little earlier, Susan. So, this is where we decide. This is where we weigh what's best for the community over what's best for the select few. We're no longer paying subscriptions to subscribe to those fucking beliefs and ideals. So, great diviner again, Listen to your intuition, use your discernment. If you are feeling a little out of whack, out of touch with your intuitive gifts, do whatever helps you to reconnect. Meditation, prayer, using your divination tools, just getting some silence to be able to exist for a little while without all of the pressure and all of the daily tasks that you have to complete. Just really start to get back in touch with the truth of who you are. Go hug a tree, go ground yourself in nature, whatever helps you to feel more connected to you, to your higher self. And again, not again. If you want, I'm going back over again, hypnosis, past life regression. If you are interested in a past life regression, in quantum hypnosis, my website right here, you can book an appointment with me. And we can definitely look into that for you. If you want to do a soul roots type of reading with me, just book a reading with me and we can do that as well. So, or go into meditation, find a practitioner that you resonate with. I don't care how you do it. You don't have to just go through me. I'm just saying I do the shit. So if you resonate with me, if you like my energy, we can get the shit handled. If not, then find somebody who resonates with your energy a bit more, who you feel more comfortable with. That's up to you. But I love you guys, and that's what I got for you guys today. My voice is starting to go out and everything. So, oh, 10 of Pentacles. I didn't even see that. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. This is what we're moving towards. Happy family, happy life. Everyone's thriving. Everyone's happy. Everyone's at peace. Okay? That's what we're moving into. Perfect card to end the reading, right as I start putting the cards back on the bottom of that deck. So, just do what you can to take care of yourself and those you love right now. Energy is going to be ramping up come July. We're about to enter July. We've got some crazy shit happening astrologically. So, do what you got to do to keep sane, to keep balanced, and just know that it will be all over eventually, but shit is ramping up. Shit is going to start getting crazy. The impossible is going to come possible, and not always in the positive way just yet, but we're getting there. So I love you guys. Woohoo! Right? Thank you, Holly. Love you. I don't know that Steph's stuck around that long, but I love you, Susan. Thank you. My voice, man. It's like, nope, we're done. Whew. All right, guys. I will see you guys again next week. Same time, same place, wherever you caught me this time. Those of you who are new here, same time, same place. So every Sunday it's 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in the U.S., but 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific. I've stopped putting the times in there, so it took me a second. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Mwah. See ya.